Prepare for the extreme and let the mud fly. It's all the dirt, air, and engine revs of ATV Off-Road Fury 1 and 2 turned up a notch.
So audio is so important in video games these days, is to make the whole package. You know, you have great graphics, great AI, and the missing element in a lot of video games has been great audio.
But ATV Off-Road Fury 3 will change that. The game's production team is on a sound gathering mission.
Today's sound recording process, we've gathered about 5 or 6 riders, 10 ATVs, and what we're doing is gathering sound for ATV 3, and that sound from just different types of engines, your 4-stroke, 2-stroke, sounds from all the bikes taken off from the starting gate, crash sounds, just a bunch of different sounds that we'll need for the ATVs throughout the game.
Even the pros are impressed with the lengths they're going to capture the authenticity of the sound.
I've seen so many types of illustrations of ATVs and motorcycles depicted on video games, and you have a 2-stroke sound with a 4-stroke bike, and vice versa. You have an open bore bike or a larger displacement bike, sound mixed with a little 80cc bike, and it just takes away all the genuineness of the game.
Without the audio there, you're missing half the experience. It's that part that draws you into playing the game.
To achieve this level of acoustic realism requires more than just a day at the track with a mic.
To attain sounds in this game, we've developed a new piece of software that's internal called a crossfader, and it allows us to crossfade between various levels of engine.
You got it pretty good.
In the old days, we had one sound, and it was either played fast or slow. Now we can go from one different type of engine to another, so it's a very smooth transition, and we'll be able to duplicate very specific things thanks to this new piece of software that we have. Well, the biggest obstacle in the past has been memory space, and trying to get a realistic sound with a very small amount of space has always been a problem. But now, because of the crossfade tool, we're able to create a lot more variety in the engines with very small loops, thus allowing us to have, we plan on having 6 to 8 motorcycle sounds that are unique at all times during the game.
The upcoming title aims for enhanced realism on all levels, and to achieve that, they've enlisted the sport's top guns.
What makes the game more real? Well, one of the things is that we're coming out here talking to pro riders. We're getting much more of a feel of what happens in real life.
You know, it's something to be said to have guys that really ride, that are really out at the track on a week-by-week basis, and really get to travel around and hang out with all the top pro riders. You know, instead of just some guy sitting behind a desk with a computer that has no clue about the game. So it's something that it gives it a lot of street cred, per se, or I guess dirt cred maybe, being that we're out at a motocross track.
I create the tracks for the title. I'm conducting interviews with the riders themselves and trying to get inside their head and try to get the actual gameplay experience of what it's like.
We want to see the authenticity there, rather than just show 3 or 4 different color bikes, actually show what the bikes do, how they work up and over the jumps, get the same type of action on that game, and emulate what a bike really does out there. It makes it tremendously more believable for the people who have experience, and for those who don't have that much experience, they're going to be able to get the feeling of what it's like to actually be out on the track.
So what do the pros think of the game they've helped to create?
You know, that gate drops is just like the real thing. You go into first turn, everybody's yelling for the whole shot, just like you are at the real event. You know, it's just awesome. It's like being in a race, but when I fall off the chair because I'm getting too excited, it's just a lot less painful.
Ear-splitting audio isn't the only improvement to this incarnation in the game.
We have a new garage this go-around. Players will actually be able to go in and add new features to the vehicles as far as changing their tires. They'll be able to add logos, change the colors of their vehicles. We've really taken the time to make sure that we've added a lot of content for our online users. We're going more for a clan-based feel, so you and your friends that have come out at the top will be able to create a logo and then all race together. We're going to, have chat. We're going to be supporting the USB headset as well as the keyboard.
And version 3 brings more extreme and more varied terrains.
If it's snow, we look at the the way an ATV should handle on that type of terrain, whether or not it's icy or if it's snow and your wheels may sink into that environment. And that also adds into the garage that we've now added, where a user can change from snow tires to sand tires to tires that are best to use on dirt or just mud.
The improvements all add up to an unbelievably realistic experience. Even guys who ride ATVs for real every day can't wait for ATV Off-Road Fury 3.
The jumping, going to the turn so hard, all the big whoops coming out and everything, the timing sections, it's great. I mean, it's so realistic, and we know this one's going to be so much better. That's the thing with ATV Fury 3, is we know it's just going to be bad. You know, here with that, working at the tracks, we got all the best bikes out here. It's going to be second to none.